Welcome to the Emily the Mystic Show. You're about to walk through a portal that leads to all things mystical, magical, spiritual, and supernatural. I'm your host, Emily. I'm a spiritual mentor, an Akashic Records practitioner and teacher, an intuition development coach, and a galactic channeler. If you're an old soul on a self-discovery and healing journey, you are in the right place. We'll be diving in deep to some of my favorite mystical topics, including manifestation, past lives, the spirit world, energy, and so much more. Get ready to embrace your inner mystic and live your most authentic life possible. The portal is now open. Hey friend, welcome to your June energy forecast with me, your host, Emily the Mystic. Hell frickin' yeah, we have made it to June. I am so excited for this energy forecast to share with you today because wow, May was wild in so many ways. I can't wait to break it down for us today. And I'm really excited for June. I just feel like this is going to be one of the coolest months of the year energetically and one of the most supportive months of the year. So I'm really excited for you. I'm really excited for us. I am excited to be on this ride with you and to get into everything you need to know today. So who's excited for the party that is the June energy forecast? I hope you are. I hope you are listening to this. Maybe you're on your walk right now or in your car. And I hope that this really spikes your water bottle or your coffee with a hit of joy and brings you just a smile to your face and so much laughter as we're going to unpack this together. Because hey, I am strapped in. I am on the ride with you. And also, this is my first solo episode that I'm recording with my new microphone, which I am so excited for you to hear this new advanced audio quality. I just think this will make your listening experience even better. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. You know how these things go, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all happening. And we're here. We made it. For us in the United States and in the Northern Hemisphere, it is the summer season. Woohoo! I don't know about you, but I come alive during the summer season. I feel like I'm kind of coming out of my cave. I am enjoying, dressing in fun clothes again. I start to wear my hair more natural like I am right now in this video. And it's just fun, right? It's fun. You get to spend more time in the sun. You just naturally spend more time outdoors. People are just doing more fun things. I feel like the pace of life slows down a little bit, which is just really nice. So overall, I think we have a lot to look forward to. And if you remember the May energy forecast, the theme was all about liberation. Yes, that's right. Liberation. I am me and I get to be free, and liberation leads to overflow in all aspects of life. And wow, did that energy hit in spades for so many of you. I know you love these energy forecasts so much, and I always love to hear your stories about how this unfolds in your own personal life because it is just crazy and amazing and synchronistic in so many ways. And liberation, I feel when I was recording it, I didn't fully understand it. And now having been through it and experiencing it with perspective, I can look back and say, yeah, we were really liberated. For me personally, I spent this month doing a lot of inner work, a lot of shadow work behind closed doors, just really connecting with aspects of self that really show themselves to me in dreams and things that kind of started happening in my personal life. And it's just really interesting because I feel at the end of this month, I feel more like myself than I ever have been. And June is also going to bring a lot of that. So I can't wait to unveil and reveal the June theme for you in a minute here. But May, I really don't want to downplay it because for some of you, it may have felt like a tower moment where there was a lot of stuff happening. I mean, I've heard crazy things. I've had clients who have had really crazy things happen to them, all sorts of situations, car situations, relationship situations, crazy stalker situations, like just the wildest of the wild.
And all of it is happening as an initiation into your soul journey and the next level of your soul journey. And I know it can feel difficult when some of these things happen in our life that feel like bad luck. And I'm the first one to tell you that you do need to do your shadow work. You do need to do the deeper clearing work. You guys know I do the entity work. I do a lot of curse clearing work. I do a lot of negative energy attachment release work for myself, for my private clients. It's not really something that I offer to the public right now, but I do it for my private clients. And it is so liberating because if you are experiencing a lot of bad luck or if you are experiencing just one negative thing after another, then there's something there for us to take a look at. But overall, I would say that in general, some of these situations that happen seemingly out of the blue, they do liberate us because they do show us an aspect of self that needs to be revealed, or an aspect of your life that needs to shift, or a relationship that needs to change, or something that needs to come to the surface, that needs to bubble to the surface for you. And so it's a catalyst, right? It's a catalyst, this experience that we've been going through throughout the course of the month of May. And June is going to be really interesting because it's going to deepen this work a bit. I'll get into that in a minute, and it's going to stabilize it a bit, at least from what I'm being shown for now. And for me personally, I have been on a journey of really reclaiming my sacral energy, my life force energy, my sacral chakra, creative essence and energy, and bringing those aspects of self really powerfully back online. I've been having some kundalini energy experiences, being fully candid with you, that have just been like mind blowing in a lot of ways. And I'm still integrating the medicine. I'm still sitting with the medicine. I don't fully understand it yet. I can't fully talk about it yet because I don't. There's still some things that haven't fully landed in my own body, but it's really been, I would say too, in the month of May, what I'm noticing for people is that there was a lot of descension work happening. So descension work is when we are brought more deeply down into the body, into the lower chakras, versus the ascension work is really tuning us to those higher frequencies and the upper chakras and God's source energy. And maybe you've been on the spiritual path for a while and you've been doing the spiritual work. Well, sometimes months like May come around that really bring you back down to earth and they really make you focus on what's happening right in front of you in your physical reality. Like I have had some experiences this month that I can't even put words to, but it's just like the little things line up. The person, I'm thinking of someone and they text me right away, which is just crazy. Or I'm thinking about a colleague or a friend of mine and they pop up on my social media page and it's like an invitation to something and I jump on it. Just the synchronicities for me this month that I'm seeing in my physical life have been freaking insane. And I am here to say that and tell you that because it is possible to live a life where you trust your soul so fully beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are like, I don't know where this is going to lead me. I have no idea, but I can see that there is an invisible thread that is pulling me in this direction and I feel it and I trust it. And I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day or the day after that. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to follow my intuition and where I'm being led and nudged to go. I'm going to follow the call of my soul on a daily basis. And those things, those little day-to-day shifts that I make are going to add up. And that invisible string is going to pull me on a wild adventure beyond my most expanded dreams. And I cannot wait to see where that leads me. And I feel the same for you listening to this. So trust in what's coming to the surface for you. And if it feels really heavy, if it feels dark, if it feels uncomfortable, then you likely need to do some shadow work. You likely need to do some energy clearing. There's likely some interferences happening in your field. So where do you begin with that? Well, check out my entity workshop on my website under my workshops page. You'll see it there. I also have a deep aura clearing meditation that's on my Instagram link that is really amazing as well. I will link those in the show notes below for you. It's a really great way to get started. And I'm going to be releasing some new one-on-one mentorships during the middle of the summer at some point when they feel aligned to share with the public. But those mentorships will be where I support people in doing this like very soul alchemy, this freaking deep, expansive work to help you really shift to your next level. So more on that to come, but I've been on the journey and it's just been insane. I can't even use normal words because it's just, it's been very ungrounding. And it's funny because it's been a descension journey of coming into the body, but it feels ungrounding because there are also a lot of emotions that come up at the same time. So I am here to say that I get it and I understand. I know this work brings up a lot, and I have so much medicine to share with you in this episode that I think will really help bring some perspective and understanding of this path that we're on and the journey that we are all on together. I also really enjoyed this month because I took time for myself to take a training that was 3 days earlier in May. I am on the process of getting certified in a modality called PSYCH-K, which has been around forever. It's been around for like 20 years, so it's not new. Not a lot of people know about it, but it's one of the only modalities that I have found that actually has a somatic, physical way to wire new beliefs into the subconscious mind, which is really cool because a lot of manifestation training will teach you to do meditation and so forth. And I teach this too because it does work to teach you how to connect in with beliefs that you want to wire into your subconscious mind, which does work. I've done all of the hypnosis, I've done the hypnotherapy, I've done all of those different things. And I do find that they work, but I wanted something more tangible and faster. And PSYCH-K does that. There is a process that you do some physical body movements. Again, it's unlike anything out there, but there are physical body movements that you do while repeating belief statements that you want to wire into your subconscious mind, and you walk away with a shift in like 5 minutes or less. It's crazy. I'm obsessed with it. It lights me up so much. I can't wait to take the level 2 training as soon as I can, hopefully end of summer, early fall. The level 1 training is just to use this modality for myself, which has been fun because it's sort of like my special thing that I get to use for me. But eventually, I want to share this with others in some capacity. So that will likely be coming to my work at some point, but it's not here for now. But you can definitely check out PSYCH-K. There are people all over the world who practice it, who do sessions. Now it's something. The PSYCH-K people are very boundaried with what it is and how to do it. So you will not find YouTube videos out there showing you the techniques. It's not like EFT tapping. It's similar but different, and it's a little secretive. So I can't do a demonstration for you on this podcast because it's just, and that's one of the things that I love about it is that it's like this very sort of special tool. But you can absolutely take a workshop with someone. They have workshops happening all the time. So if you feel drawn to it, find a practitioner, check out the website. But I did want to share that with you. And I definitely believe that it works. It was a massive expander for me. It has helped me do some deep work on myself in a very short window of time. And I am always trying to find ways to be more efficient with my personal practices. And PSYCH-K has definitely been one of those things for me. So I love it so far. Can't wait to see where the journey continues to take me. And I am also right now obsessed with the gene keys. I recently just invested in the Gene Keys course, and I can't wait to dive into that even more deeply because that's really shaped a lot of my work this month. The Gene Keys is a system similar to human design and astrology, And it helps you see these aspects of consciousness in different ways, because every aspect of yourself in your gene keys chart has a shadow side, has a gift side, and has a city, which is like the more enlightened, higher vibrational, high frequency aspect of that aspect of self, aspect of consciousness that you have within your DNA, within your personal coding. And I just like to see that reflected. It's cool to me because since I have learned, I started my spiritual journey and my spiritual business journey learning how to channel first, and then using the systems like astrology and human design and gene keys to reinforce what I channel. So it's really cool to see that what I intuit and pick up on about a client or myself is reflected in the charts. So I'm really enjoying that right now. And it's just bringing me so much validation and just expansion too, because it taps into some blind spots and things that I can't always see. So I'm really, really, really enjoying that. And it's Gemini season right now as I'm recording this. Yesterday was the first day of Gemini season. I have a Gemini moon in my astrology. If you didn't know, I am a Taurus rising, Gemini moon, and I am a Pisces sun. So I love Gemini season. Gemini energy gets a bad rap in the pop astrology space, and I hate it because I love Gemini energy. It is so intellectual. It is so curious. It just wants to know. It wants to understand. And I think some people get triggered by Gemini energy because Geminis they move so fast. Their frequency moves so fast. Their internal world moves so fast that it can be hard to keep up with. So some people get triggered by that because it's like the Gemini is already on to the next thing. And they sometimes are bad at bringing you along for the ride. So I recognize when I do that sometimes when I'm moving too fast and I need to slow down to allow people to keep up with me. But I really just see it as this super curious and mentally stimulating vibration. And so during Gemini season, I love to invest in courses and my own learning because it just expands me in so many ways. So if you're a lifelong learner like I am, welcome to Gemini season, because that's one of the aspects of this month that I find so fun is getting curious about what is lighting you up and bringing you joy. We're going to get to that in a moment. I still have a few introductory things to say, and then we will get into the energy forecast. I also had the pleasure this month of hosting some live events, which has been amazing, including my first ever group Divinity Tablets experience with my co-channel, Heather Fox. The two of us co-hosted our first Divinity Tablets group healing on the first day of Gemini season, in fact. And we had 18 of you join us, which was freaking awesome. This is the biggest group healing I've ever done, and even more who purchased the replay. So what a treat to be able to do energy healing for 18 people at the same time. Just awesome, 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 awesome. And I know this energy healing frequency, if you haven't learned more about it yet, I don't want to waste too much time talking about it here in this space, but I have a whole episode with Heather where we dive into it in more detail. But it's an energy healing that Heather and I channeled about 8 months ago that has really changed my life and been an upgrade for me in so many ways. So I cannot wait because Heather and I are co-hosting another group experience in June. So the Divinity Tablets, the best way I can explain it quickly here is that it's similar to Reiki, but different. In that the experience, the way that we hold the space is similar to how you would receive Reiki in a group setting, but it is unlike anything else. It's so expansive. It's so efficient. It's so fast. It's so miraculous. It heals on a physical level. It heals on a cellular level. I have seen clients have really amazing transformations from this so far, and I just can't wait to do it more. So we'll be doing that again in June 23rd. So please come. I will leave the link below in the show notes. And also, if you want to spend time with me and you want to hang out with me this month, I highly recommend that you hop into my light language mentorship, because this is the last time that I'm going to be teaching light language live. I will be offering it as a do-it-yourself course after this live round that's happening this summer, starting in the middle of June, the middle of this month. So it will be really amazing for the people who are there live because they're going to get to experience the live channeling and activations and so on and so forth. And of course, it's going to be just as potent and just as miraculous when you purchase the pre-recorded version of it. But still, I mean, you get to be part of the live group experience, which is so fun. And you get my live coaching too, which is also a plus. Of course, you get to hang out with yours truly. So why not? Why not join? If you've been thinking about connecting with your light language, if you've been desiring deepening of that gift, or it's just been starting to awaken within you, then this group experience is going to be one of the absolute best ways to do that. And also, final call, final reminder to join my Akashic Records certification. Doors will be open until June 10th. June 10th. But you can join now until June 10th, and you can get started at any time when you decide to join. So, yay for that. Amazing, amazing. So many great things happening here. All right, let's get into the theme of the month ahead for June. What can you expect during the energy forecast? Well, and by the way, if you're new to these energy forecasts, the way that I do them is I set the intention to be shown and told the highest vibrational expression of energy during the month ahead that you need to know by my Akashic Record keepers and spirit guide team that I work with. And here's the theme. The theme is reclamation. Reclamation. I was surprised by this one. I was like, what is, I was asking them a lot of questions like, what does this mean? What is this about? And they were sharing with me that this is a month where you're really reclaiming parts of yourself. You are reclaiming lost or hidden parts of yourself, and also reclaiming things in your life that perhaps aren't fully integrated, or perhaps you forgot about, or perhaps are just kind of on the edge, the periphery of your consciousness, and you're bringing them back to yourself. So I think it will be really interesting because here's the thing. The version of you that you are today listening to this in the beginning of June is not the version of you listening to my January energy update. Things have changed so much in such a short period of time. And even if things haven't fully unfolded in your physical third dimensional reality, that doesn't mean that you haven't changed internally. You're still changing, you're still moving, you're still growing. And so I think it will be really interesting to tune back in to maybe even re-listen to this episode at the end of June and think back on what has been reclaimed in your life. What have you gone to the proverbial lost and found to find that perhaps was forgotten or hidden or out of you, or that someone took from you, or that maybe you lost out on, or maybe you pushed away or ignored or avoided? It is an opportunity to deeply, deeply, deeply reclaim parts of yourself that have been left behind. And here are some examples to really ground this in to this moment as you listen to this, because I always set the intention too that these episodes are an initiation and an activation. So your reclamation activation, really what it means, I want you to think about a moment in your life, especially as we're getting older, as adults. You're listening to this, you're probably in your mid to late 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s, 60s. So you've been through a lot of life. You've lived a lot of life so far, right? And I want you to think back to a time where maybe you had a memory resurface of something that you used to love to do as a kid. I know for me, one of those things that's been coming up a lot recently are horses and horseback riding. I used to be a horseback rider when I was in middle school, and I was obsessed with horses. And it keeps popping up for me. I keep getting signs that I need to take a horseback riding lesson. I need to get back on the horse again. Like, I need to spend time with horse energy, with horse medicine. And that's one of those things that's me reclaiming an aspect of self that I pushed away, that I didn't have time for, that maybe I lost interest in for a period of time, but I feel called and lit up and excited about bringing back into my life now as an adult. So this energy work is all about that. Maybe it's reminding yourself of things from your childhood, maybe from the 90s or the 80s or the 70s that you just really love to do, and bringing that back into your day-to-day life. Maybe that's taking a class in something that lights you up. Maybe that's a hobby or something that you love, or a food that you used to like and you forgot about it. Maybe it's a snack food and you go to the grocery store and they have it and it's like, oh my gosh, this is my favorite snack. I forgot about this. This is amazing. Another one that comes to mind is I recorded this episode with Tyler Gines, who is a pet psychic. And if you haven't listened to that episode yet, you should, because it's amazing. And one thing that Tyler was reminding me of was in his childhood, he used to love going to the pet store. And I used to love going to the pet store too. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that memory. I forgot about that aspect of self. I forgot about that part of myself that has been left behind. And now I'm connecting the dots as I think about this, because this didn't hit home for me, but when I was doing the original channeling for this episode. But we are going to be moving into Cancer season during the course of this month ahead in June. And Cancer energy is very domestic. It's very nurturing. It loves its comfort zone, its crab shell, its home bubble, its warmth environment. And so when I think about reclaiming these nostalgic memories and these aspects of self and these hobbies and these passions and these things that you've forgotten about or lost track of, I really think about this Cancerian energy. I think about coming home to yourself. I think about coming home to these parts of self that maybe you've pushed away or forgotten about, and really just deepening them or making them part of your life again, or reconnecting with them in a way. And maybe it's remembering a part of yourself or having a deep shadow work experience, or maybe it's telling someone that you're in a relationship with or a friendship that you're in and being like, hey, I am this person. I love to do this. Would you be open to doing this with me? Or, hey, I forgot that I really love, I don't know, the example coming to mind right now are action movies. I love action movies. Would you be down to go see a movie with me? Because that would be really fun. And, let's see. Or I used to love bowling. Like, let's go play bowling, or, whatever the thing is for you. Those are just totally random examples. But having these conversations with people in your life, being nostalgic, reminding yourself of the things that you used to love. Because what I am realizing and what I am seeing as I've been doing this work for a few years now, and when I really see someone find success in their life and find true joy in embodying their purpose, whatever that is for them, maybe that is a business or an entrepreneurship path, maybe that's their professional life or a relationship life, that they start to put together the breadcrumbs of things from their life that they had forgotten about, the little things, the subtle things from your life story. These people who are really successful, who are really embodied, who are really authentic, I consider myself to be one of those people because this journey has been all about that for me. They know who they are. They are so clear on who they are. And they realize that success has come from remembering and reclaiming these aspects that, again, were forgotten or pushed aside, or whatever the reason is. It doesn't matter. And it's also not to have shame or make yourself feel bad or wrong for, oh my God, I forgot about this, or I didn't do this, or I haven't done this in ages. It's really sweet. It's really beautiful. It's dreamy. It's nostalgic. It's loving. And it's doing this in such a loving, high vibrational way. Well, of course, if this does bring up emotions, then honoring those emotions, honoring the grief or the sadness that you feel around losing that aspect of self for a period of time. But again, not all is lost. You're lost in your proverbial lost and found box of your life. It's right in front of you. It's right here. And we're setting that intention as you're listening to this episode that you are shown the way and that you have people who come into your life who remind you of the things that are in your lost and found box that you have been desiring to connect with. And these items or hobbies or things or passions or people could even be a person that you've gotten out of touch with that brings you joy, that they reveal themselves to you after listening to this episode during the course of the month of June, and that revitalizing yourself through acknowledging who you are and who you have been and making space for all of these aspects. I mean, that's truly what the embodied spiritual journey is all about. It's this. It's becoming your most authentic self. And hell yeah, maybe that's thinking about, as a child, I used to love to go to Limited Too. Like, I loved Limited Too. I loved all of the 90s snacks, Dunkaroos. I loved, oh my God, there was a period of time where we had purple ketchup, just like wild things. And when I think about these early 2000s things, they really bring me joy. And so as I recover these aspects of my own childhood and start bringing them back into my life in small ways, I feel, and maybe it's not buying the purple ketchup, but it's thinking about the purple ketchup and having a laugh about it. It brings so much lightness and levity. Life doesn't have to be so serious, right? It doesn't have to be so serious. And when we reclaim these aspects of self, we remember who we really are, and we can have a sense of humor about this, this journey that we're on. I mean, my God, it's crazy. So let's have a laugh about it. Like, please, like, can we just laugh about it? So let the light in this summer. Let it shine on what's hidden or just out of you for you. Find your proverbial lost box of things and let that be the key to your growth, to your expansion. It's not about searching for the next thing, because trust me, it's not about trying to master some skill set that's like outside of you. But you will know if that skill set aligns with someone who you are. Like, for example, like, let's say, I don't know, the example that's coming to mind is, let's say you keep seeing all of these people online in the online space who are making money through some kind of online e-commerce business, retail business, people who are in sort of the shipping game and shipping and selling physical products, right? Well, you would know that's not for you if you're not a tech person, if you're not interested in retail products, fashion, or buying, if you're not interested in selling physical products, and you have no prior experience doing that, you automatically know it's not for you. But if you've been seeing posts about starting an e-commerce business and you think about your life and you think, oh my gosh, like, I do have retail experience, or I do love shopping, or I am super techie, like I could do that in a heartbeat, I could learn that, then it is for you. Does that make sense? I hope that's making sense. So it's about bringing back the old hobbies and things and passions that you loved. And it's also about finding the things that remind you of your skills and what you're good at, and applying yourself to a passion in a new way that brings you joy. For example, Gene Keys, perfect example of this. I have a dear client, Anna. I'm going to shout you out on this episode. I hope you're listening. Text me if you are. My dear client, Anna, sent me this Gene Keys book at the very beginning of my journey in like 2021. I kid you not. And I looked at it and I was like, oh God, I don't know what to do with this. Like, this is a lot. And I was like, thank you, Hannah. Like, this is such a nice gift. And I really didn't know what to do with it. And it's just kind of been here. I reference it from time to time, but I haven't really looked at it. And this year I've gotten so deep in the Gene Keys and I'm like, holy shit. Hannah gave me this book in 2021. And now all of a sudden it makes sense. Now all of a sudden the dots are crossing. Now all of a sudden it's all aligning. So that's what I mean. Those little nudges from the universe that you've gotten in the past, the proverbial thing in your closet that still has the tags on it that you've never worn, but you just take it out and you're like, oh my God, this feels good to me to wear now. Those are the things that you're reclaiming this month. And let this be a fun journey of excitement and expansion. They are your key this month to reclaiming your creativity, your intuitive power, and your sense of self. And with that being said, I do feel a really bright sacral energy coming in for so many of us. This creative life force, essence, and energy. And yes, you can also say that that's a sexual life force and energy. You may feel this expanded perspective on creativity during the course of this month. You may have more energy to do your creative projects. You may have more energy to get out the paint set or, get out the project or the book or the course or the whatever it is that you haven't finished yet, and dedicate yourself to the creation and dedicate yourself to writing the book or, again, whatever that thing is for you. So I do really see a revitalization also this month of that sacral creative essence and energy, and having an outpouring of that to be in your flow state, to find that flow, to find that rhythm, to find that time in your day and your life where you can do the things that you can really get lost in, that you really, really enjoy. I'm on a journey this year to remaster my health and feel my absolute best while having consistent high energy levels. And so I decided to get some labs to test to see how my hormones were looking, as well as to check for any imbalances within my body. And so I decided to get lab work done through an incredible company called Joy Wellness. That's spelled Joi Wellness. And you can get your lab work done through this amazing company while also getting a unique supplement regimen just for you to support your health. They also provide a variety of different wellness options and health coaching for helping you get your energy levels back and feel your best. So if you want to do high vibrational lab work like I did, you can use code Emily the Mystic at checkout to get your labs at a discounted rate. Another thing that I want you to be aware of is that at the end of May 24th to be exact, the planet Saturn, Daddy Saturn, as some would say, is moving out of Pisces and into Aries. So it's been in Pisces since 2022, 2023. I forget. Someone will correct me, but it's been in Pisces for the last 2.5-ish years and is moving into Aries. For me, it's this upcoming weekend as I'm recording this on the 24th. For you, it will have already happened by the time you listen to this. And Saturn is going to be in Aries during the course of the summer until Saturn goes retrograde later on this summer. And it's really interesting because we're on the cusp of a massive energetic shift. Saturn is the planet of discipline, lessons, and awareness around things. Some people say it's a planet of restriction, which it can be. And I looked at it that way for such a long time. And I am realizing now, the more I see it, the more for me, working with Saturn's energy is about unveiling aspects of fear in my own life. Saturn will shine a light for me on things in my life where I am playing small and being afraid and being in my comfort zone. And it will force me, like literally pushes me out of the nest. It pushes me out of the nest to do the thing that scares me the most, or to do the thing that I know I need to do, but I really don't want to do it because I'm so comfortable over here in my corner. Saturn for me is about spreading my wings and allowing myself to fly. And boy, do I have a whole update and stories for you for my experience going through my Saturn return, which I have been through again since, it's probably been since 2022. It feels like it's been forever, 3 years, however long it's been, 3 years, 4 years. I don't even know at this point, but I've been going through my Saturn return for this period of time, the last few years. And it has evoked so much change within me, alchemically, physically, mentally, emotionally, so many levels. I have so much to say, so much to share. I'm going to do a whole solo episode on that. So don't wait. Don't worry. It will be coming to you. That was probably a little Freudian slip of my tongue. Don't wait to record it, Emily, because you have so much to say. LOL. But I will be recording that episode and I can't wait to share it with you. And if you have just gone through your own Saturn return, it's an opportunity to really think about it. How did it go for you? What unfolded? Instead of seeing Saturn as where you've learned lessons, can you see Saturn as where you've been pushed out of the proverbial nest a bit and pushed and forced into looking at aspects of your life where you are playing small or where you are in your comfort zone, because that's what it's going to do for you. And regardless if you were in your Saturn return or not, Saturn is moving into a new sign for all of us, for the whole collective, for everybody. And so you can go and check out, so it's moving into Aries. So you can pull up your birth chart and you can take a look at what house is ruled by Aries. We all have all 12 signs in our zodiac. Even if you don't have planets in that specific sign, just go to the specific section of the pie chart that Aries is over. And Aries, that section of your pie chart, of your birth chart, will be the area of your life, the room of the house of your life, where there will be some opportunities for you to be pushed out of the nest. So for me, I'm going through it. I'm about to go through it. I already feel like it's already coming in. But for me, I'm going through that in my 12th house of my inner work, my healing, spirituality. So I'm in kind of this like really interesting shadow work, sort of exploratory self journey right now. And it's forcing me not to play small. It's forcing me to kind of get outside of my comfort zone a little bit. So it's all about, and Aries too is a sign of leadership. So you're going to be really, if this Saturn and Pisces transit did not push you into leadership in some aspect of your life, then it absolutely will happen for you during this transit, which is going to be happening for the next 3-ish years. Also, it's important to keep in mind that Saturn is going to be going retrograde during the course of the summer. And so when Saturn goes retrograde, it's going to go back into Pisces. And that could potentially bring up some unfinished business, some things from the last 2 to 3 years that have not fully been integrated or healed, or some little outlier, little lessons that you haven't fully tapped into yet. So just be on the lookout for that when Saturn goes retrograde. I will be posting about that when that happens. But and again, it's not happening during the month of June, so you don't need to worry about it for now. We'll talk about it as we get closer to July. But at least for the purpose of this episode, you can keep in mind that we're getting a preview into how this Saturn and Aries expanded energetic potential is going to be impacting all of us during the next 2 to 3 years. With that in mind, I also want to walk you through some of the key dates because there's some big planetary movements that are happening during the month of June that I'm really excited about. Venus is moving into Taurus. Yes, very beginning of June, June 5th to be exact. I'm a Taurus rising, so I love Taurus energy. It is all about the pleasures of life, material things, money, beauty rituals, sensual energy and experiences. Luxurious things. I love Taurus energy so much. And Venus loves being in Taurus because Taurus is ruled by Venus. And Venus is the planet of love and beauty. So I just feel like this really casts a rose-colored glass light on the month of June. It means that it's going to be a time where you can really enjoy yourself. And again, when we think about this sort of Cancerian finding your lost box of toys, you can think about really just having playtime, having fun time, having me time, having maybe it's a romantic rendezvous, or maybe it's like a delicious meal, or maybe it's a party that you go to. Really letting yourself free to enjoy yourself this summer and this June. Super important. On June 9th, Jupiter, the planet of abundance and money and prosperity and good luck and good fortune, is moving into Cancer. So Cancer is really going to love Jupiter moving into the sign. But here's the thing. We all have all 12 signs in our birth chart. So if you pull up your birth chart, and if you pull up where Cancer is in your birth chart, and again, what piece of the pie Cancer is in, you will find that is where Jupiter is transiting for you. So for me, Cancer is in my third house of local community and communication, which is exciting because maybe it means that I'm going to be getting involved in my local community in a new way. Maybe that means I'm going to be meeting new people in the neighborhood. Maybe that means I'm going to be connecting with people in a different way. Communication, that also involves podcasting, right? So maybe I'll see some expansion with the podcast or with ways that I communicate on social media. So you can take a look and see where Cancer is in your birth chart, because that is an area of life where you're going to get blessed, blessed and expanded, and so much good fortune and so many good things. So we have that to look forward to. It's been in Gemini for the last year, which I have loved because Gemini is my second house of money. So I had a very prosperous year, a lot of money coming in. I feel very grateful, very thankful. I've made headway on some of my financial goals, which is exciting. So that's been really good for me. So I know that Jupiter just blesses us in so many ways. So we get to look out for that. And that's going to be awesome. And of course, we have the summer solstice happening on June 20th. So the summer solstice I love because it's the longest day of the year. There's so much light. And when there is so much light, it's an opportunity to just like really let yourself expand, just to stop playing small, to let yourself be seen, like wear the outfit. You know the outfit, the one that makes you feel so freaking good. Put that outfit on, go out, like go out, get out of your house. Go out, have drinks with your friends, take your family out for a fun day or a fun weekend activity, go on a trip, do something that makes you feel good. Let yourself live. If there is one thing I've been really pulling from my readings lately, it's all about how can you live more? Where are you not letting yourself live your life? How can you live more? Where are you living in fear instead of actually living? Holy shit. Is that a soul inquiring question? Where are you living in fear instead of really living? Bam. That is the aspect of life where you're going to start to see some activation after you listen to this episode. If you are still living in fear, maybe it's about money, maybe it's about a relationship, maybe it's about your job. And I know that things are happening in the world, okay? I'm not blind. I'm not immune to what's happening in the world. And also, you cannot let it impact your walking existence because you came here for more. You listening to this episode, you came here for more. You came here to enjoy this life. You came here to experience Earth as a party planet and not as a prison planet. So if you are thinking of Earth as a prison planet, it is going to mirror that back to you. So this is your wake-up call to start seeing it as a party planet, a planet where you can enjoy. And if this triggers you, then I am going to encourage you to ask yourself the question, why am I so afraid to live? Why am I so afraid to live? Ooh, does that hit deep? Because if you are not really living, then there's an aspect of you that's afraid to live. And guess what? We're here to live. You were born to live. You came here to live. I could make a whole song about this. Guys, let's live. Let's do fun things. So with that being said, and I'm going to stop my rant for now, really, really, really take that all to heart. Let this be a month where you really reclaim yourself, you reclaim your authenticity, and you let yourself live. You let yourself be free. You let yourself live your life. So I'm just going to encourage you now to just take a moment. We're just going to create a space of silence for a breath, for something to drop into your awareness that you need to do in your life. This is not a being, okay? This is a doing. This is an action. This is a hobby. This is an activity. This is a friend to hang out with. This is a doing, okay? What is one thing you can do this month that is really going to light you the F up and bring you joy? Close your eyes. What is that thing for you? Good. Great. There you go. There's your message for the month. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So, as you can tell, there is a lot of energy moving. There is a lot shifting. There is a lot here for you. And I want to leave this episode with some medicine for you. I always love to do a card pull at the end of these episodes to share with you a message that you need for the month ahead, a little personalized one. And the cards that I pulled are all around medicine, meaning something that you need that's going to help you focus on your self-care and taking care of yourself and focusing on you and making the time for some of the things that have been mentioned in this episode. And finally, I cannot wait to end this episode today with a personalized message for you for the month of June. And as always, I like to pull cards to give you a personalized forecast for what you can expect. And this month, the messages are all about medicine. Meaning not a pharmaceutical medicine. No. I mean a holistic medicine. Something that you need to incorporate in your life that is going to help with integrating and doing all of the things that have been mentioned so far in this episode. Okay. So I'm going to be giving you 4 colors in just a moment, and I want you to use your intuition to pick the color that resonates the most for you right now. And then I'm going to be sharing a message with you that corresponds to that color. Color number 1, purple. Color number 2, green. Color number 3, blue. Color number 4, yellow. Purple, green, blue, yellow. Let's do it. Color number 1, purple. You have gotten the hummingbird card. Beautiful. And by the way, these cards are being pulled from the Seasons of the Witch Letha Oracle deck, which is so perfect for the summer season. And I love this deck because I love the imagery. I think it's just so beautiful and sweet. So we have the hummingbird card. Now, be on the lookout for hummingbirds, obviously. You might see them in your life. Hummingbird feeders, by the way, are super fun to have because they bring hummingbirds to your house. And why not? It's amazing. Hummingbirds, keywords, swiftness, adaptability, and pivoting. So for you this month, your medicine is adaptability, being able to be adaptable to change. Okay, so I'm going to read the card and then I'll tell you my perspective. Hummingbirds are small but mighty, with wings that can beat almost 100 times per second. They can travel great distances and change direction in an instant with smoothness and grace. You too are being called to be more flexible when Hummingbird enters your reading. The current path you're on isn't suiting your needs, and it's time to consider some additional options or, at the very least, a new approach. Think about what is and is not working for you and how you can use this information to bring clarity to your question. This card can also mean your situation is evolving rapidly and you are not keeping up with these changes, which can cause you to feel overwhelmed. If you are unwilling to adapt, it may be time to consider whether or not this is the right path forward, because the world will pass you by if you hold on too tightly to outdated methods. Now, okay, here's the thing, pause. I am someone who believes that there are no wrong decisions, only lessons. So do not let this card make you think that you are on some kind of wrong path, because I personally don't believe that. I don't practice that. I believe we're always on the right path and we're always redirected where we need to go if something is out of alignment and needs to shift. Okay, so with this card, the medicine for you is all about being adaptable in situations. So there could be some things that come up for you this month that cause you to pivot. Maybe it's plans that go sideways, or maybe you thought you wanted to do one thing and it turns out you want to do something else. It's okay to change your mind and it's okay to be flexible. It's okay to just be kind of open and adaptable to change. And this card is inviting you to be flexible and adaptable instead of rigid and controlled. Okay. So that's your medicine this month: flexibility, adaptability. All right. Color number 2 is green. And if you selected the color green, your card is bike ride. And the medicine is all about slowing down. Keywords: unhurried, enjoying the moment, the long way home. Some summer days beg for a slower pace. Those days when the sun is shining, but there's just a bit of a breeze to keep you cool. Flowers are dancing in meadows, birds are singing along, and a butterfly comes to rest on your shoulder as though to remind you to stop and enjoy the little things. Then there are days when you just don't feel like being rushed or productive. Those days when you'd rather spend time doing what you love, with who you love, and when you take the long way home, not because you have to, but because the world can wait. Pulling this card is your sign to embrace this kind of day. It will appear when you are rushing through life without being present for it. You may recognize the symptoms of moving too fast, feeling anxious, doing a lot but accomplishing very little, a lack of focus and getting lost in daydreams, feelings of doubt or confusion about the future, or a deep desire to do nothing. These feelings aren't manifestations of laziness or a lack of motivation. They are reminders that there's more to life than work and checking off another item on your to-do list. I love that so much. So your medicine is all about slowing down and really enjoying the ride and enjoying the experience this month. Taking a breath, taking a pause. I know for me, anytime I'm moving too fast, I have crazy things happen in my life. I have sprained my ankle not once, but twice because of this. So I have learned the lesson, and I'm here to tell you that impatience will help nobody. That used to be when I was interviewing for jobs. That used to be my thing that I would say when the person would ask me, what is a trait that you have that is like a weakness that you turn into a skill? And I would always say, I'm super impatient, which means I'm great at any job because I get the job done fast. And I am here to live a different life than that. I'm here to teach you to slow down and to tell you that impatience can be your own worst enemy sometimes. The more you slow down, the more you enjoy the beauty of life and the more that you get to live. So we just spoke about that in this episode. Perfect. Perfect timing. Okay. If you selected the color blue, your card is hydration, card number 20. So obviously your medicine is hydration. How perfect is that? Let's see what this says, and then I'll give you my perspective. Hydration, keywords: nourishment, foundational healing, source of the problem. Ever had dry skin in the summer? Between sun rays, air conditioning, salt water, and chlorine, your skin can take a brutal beating. You can increase your moisturizer, of course, but that is only treating the symptoms and not the problem. While environmental influences increase your chances of having dry skin, proper hydration is half the battle. Getting enough of this foundational healing by just drinking more water will have a significant impact on not only your skin, but your body's overall wellness. Spiritual well-being is similar. You may be attempting to manifest a large goal or heal an old wound, but are focusing on the symptoms when there is a much bigger problem driving the external manifestations you're experiencing. Poor beliefs about self-worth may prevent you from attracting more love or wealth. A deep-rooted fear of new experiences may hinder your plans to travel more or chase after a dream. Or you could find that troubles in a relationship are the result of a long-forgotten childhood wound. Additional information, understanding, or healing is needed before the situation can come to conclusion. Put on your X-ray glasses and look beyond the surface of your problem or question, because there's more to the story than meets the eye, and you have only just begun to peel back the layers. So, hydration. I feel like this medicine for you is multi-layered. So, first of all, make sure you're drinking your water. Please keep yourself hydrated. I do feel like we need to say that, but then underneath that, there is this layer of really taking a look at your root beliefs and what you believe about yourself, because if there is something happening in your life that you don't like, it is probably connected to an internal belief that needs your love. So for you, your medicine, in addition to the hydration, it may also be doing some of the deeper belief work and identifying what those beliefs, those limiting beliefs are that are holding you back. One thing that PSYCH-K has taught me is to identify when someone is speaking with limiting beliefs. And I find myself doing this. Like if I say something to the effect of, it's hard to do this, or life is hard, or this is challenging, immediately I'm now snapping into it and saying, Emily, that's a limiting belief. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be challenging. It doesn't have to be so difficult. So catch yourself when you are in those limiting beliefs. That is the first step, is catching it. And now when I'm with a client, if they say something to that effect for me, I will reflect it back to them and say, limiting belief. That's a limiting belief. It's not true. So change your mind. Okay, final card. If you selected the color yellow, your card is the Cancer card. And by Cancer, I mean Cancer zodiac, constellation energy. Your medicine is inner self, emotional wellness, and setting boundaries. How are you doing? That is the question to ask yourself when the Cancer Sun sign card appears in your reading. When was the last time you took a moment to check in with yourself, listen to your internal landscape, and support your emotional needs? Cancer's mission is to teach you how to find your own little corner of the world where you can retreat to replenish your energy. It reminds you of the power of self-care and that your emotions can be potent allies when you take the time to listen rather than trying to suppress them. Your emotions may offer you a deeper understanding about how and when you need to establish better boundaries, bring light to feeling overwhelmed and burned out, guide you to the things that bring you happiness, or steer you away from what steals your joy. Every emotion is something to teach, and yours have been seeking an audience with you. Ask your emotions plainly, what are you trying to tell me? Then listen carefully, because the answer may surprise you. So for you, your medicine is all about connecting in with yourself and honoring your emotions and creating space for your emotions and creating space for yourself to slow down and feel and be present with yourself. And so for you, that may be making time for self-care. If you are super busy during the month of May, which I know you moms call the month of May-cember because there are so many events and things happening, that maybe for you, your medicine during the month of June is all about that inner care, that true self-care, that emotional nourishment and replenishment. Wow, my listener, what a potent episode. Oh my God, just so much has poured into this space with us today. Holy cow. As soon as I get up, I know I'm going to remember something that I forgot to talk about, but we're not even going to worry about that because we are going to trust that everything came through that needed to come through. There was so much here, so much for you. You may need to listen to this one a couple of times because there's some juicy nuggets in there. I hope you enjoyed this. Go enjoy your month of June. Really make sure to live it up. Remember that, and remember to reclaim aspects of self that have been forgotten about, left behind, or whatever the case is for you. Those are your main themes this month. Be on the lookout for weekly energy updates on my Instagram page at Emily the Mystic. And I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks again for being here. I hope you enjoy your summer if it's a summer for you, or wherever you are in the world. I hope you enjoy the month ahead, and I'll see you soon.